going on, people? Hope everybody's doing well. You know me, I'm Tom, coming at you on this holiday Thanksgiving weekend. Oh, yeah. But before we get started, you know what time it is. I'll be right back. All right. You know what time it is. It's Beer 30, baby. Nothing like a beer. Okay, there's a bunch of little weird things to talk about and some cool stuff to talk about that, but this is the end of an era. Kind of a sad day and a happy day all at once, and I'll tell you why. Number one, before I jump right into the story, you guys know I like to tell stories, I just want to wish everybody out there in YouTube land, on my channel, supporting my channel, happy Thanksgiving holiday weekend. And hope everybody's full on turkey, cranberry sauce, and all the fixins. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I had to work all Thanksgiving Day and 3 days prior to that. In other words, for the last 4 days, I've been doing one thing and one thing only. Hanging Christmas lights. Oh yeah, my favorite thing. Over 2 miles worth of Christmas lights I had to put up at the hospital. Got it done. It was an emergency rush session because bottom line is nobody else, no other company wanted to do it because of the extent of it and the wiring and all the different things you have to put together to get these lights up. But I went ahead and, put a bid on it, got it, and did it. Then today, Saturday, wow, so much cool stuff and so much information that is in my life as far as, like I said, this is a vlog. So just stuff I do all the time. And I know I haven't posted a video since last week when I was over there at Eric's house, one of my young friends. Now, what's going on here is this. Me and my mother, who now is 87 years old, we came into this country in 1963 to the United States. She was married to a military guy. She's German, he's American, and we traveled all over the world. For the first 14 years of my life, I lived pretty much outside the United States in foreign countries. Then we got back here, we moved to Fort Bragg, Fayetteville area. For 28 years, I lived there, but I joined the Army, I went back to Korea, Japan, and then came back. But since 1970, my mother and her husband bought a small house, and they lived into it to this day. But things have changed, things have started to happen, and I kind of knew this was gonna. I was hoping this was going to happen. Let me share a little information with you. I know I'm kind of leading you on a little bit here, but this is kind of cool. I got 2 half sisters. One who's a retired cop in Germany who now owns a restaurant. Her and her husband, they live very, very well. He owns a big construction company. They've been married, 15 years, something like that. And I got another half sister who's married, and she lives on 30 acres down south, somewhere in Georgia. Now, we're all, my mother was born in 1932. I was born in 1957. My oldest sister, much older, was born in 1954. My youngest half-sister is born in 1967. So we're all becoming old farts, but we're all still alive, okay? Now, we lost our grandparents years and years ago. They didn't survive very well through World War II. Let's just put it that way. But anyway, I've been telling my mother, after my stepfather, her husband died 3 years ago. He died of complications from Agent Orange in Vietnam. He did 3 tours. That's when we were living in Okinawa to support him while he was in Vietnam. in the late 60s. Now, what ended up happening is I told my mother years ago, I said, well, this is after her husband died, my stepfather died, that you need to go back to Germany. Oh, no. She wasn't going to have none of it because she's an American citizen just like I am. I'm an American citizen now. So I kept kind of saying, you don't want to live here. You're all by yourself, blah, 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 blah. Why are you hanging on to this place? It's just a bunch of old memories. There's no kids around. We all live in different parts of the world and states. And you're here all alone and you're in your 80s. So what are you doing that for? For some reason, she just couldn't leave. Well, surprise, surprise, surprise. She left. And I'll be honest with you, she didn't call me. I didn't know nothing about it. Now that's what I call prepping. My mother is a serious ass prepper. This is what she did. I lie to you not. She told no one. She just hinted that she was going to fly to Germany for vacation. That's all she said. Going to Germany for vacation, which she does, every 3 or 4 years. Before COVID, she would do it almost every couple of years. Or one of the relatives, I've got 5 relatives in Germany, but a lot of them are in their 80s and 90s, and they're all in East Germany. They were in the Soviet bloc. But now that's all, democratic. The Berlin Wall's gone. But there's still now a bunch of my relatives, old farts, and don't take that wrong, because I love my people. But the bottom line is they're old, really old. And hell, they're all 20, 25 years older than I am. They're all still alive, all of them. So anyway, I drove by, I went down to Fayetteville today. Okay, I got in my van and I got my best buddy down there, Willie Chow, what's up, brother? And of course, one of my favorite fans sitting there at Lafayette Ford, Bobby Freeman. How you doing, my brother? Oh yeah, give you a big shout out on this holiday weekend. But I went down to go see Willie, and we were sitting there chatting and everything like that. But before I got to his house, I have to drive by my mother's place. Well, guess what? There was nothing there. All the cars were gone. The place had a brand new roof on it. The yard was all cleaned up. And it was for sale. I said, what is for sale? Caught me by surprise. But anyway, I finally got a hold of one of my sisters, finally. And they said, yeah, she finally decided that living there in that little house wasn't the best thing for her. And she wanted to go back to her home country, okay? Go back to her roots. She still speaks German. Hell, she speaks German and Russian. And go back and be with her old relatives that she hasn't seen she's seen them, but she hasn't lived around them. She lived in the United States. They're all in Europe for 50 years. 50 years. So, hindsight says that, anyway, she's gone. She took off. She's not on vacation. She's permanently moved to Germany and got the house up for sale. And it's going to sell fast, so she'll get a big check. She's got a full pension, retirement, and Veterans Administration retirement benefits too. So, for my stepfather's, from his military career, which spanned 30 years. So she's good financially, but she is 87 years old. She's got a weak heart and a bad leg. The normal stuff, the normal stuff old people have. So, but she will live to 100 years old. I just already know it. She already told me she's going to live to 100, and I believe her. But now that she's back in Germany, she's going to be around her people. Here she had nothing. That's what was my biggest heartache. She had here nothing and no one. Okay? And, it was all just military people that she knew, but she had no family here. So I kept urging her for years, go back to Germany, go. And she fought me. Well, boom, she's gone. Split. She's out of town. She's across the ocean, and that's where she needs to be. I really, to be honest with you, she needs to be where she needs to be right now, and it's in Germany. So, the moral of this story is, on my side of the family, apparently our genetics allow us to live pretty old. So, and you know what's funny? My mother smoked way into her 60s, okay? And she's fine. She's fine. So I know for a fact, and even my youngest half sister is healthy as shit. You know, there's nothing wrong with her. She still climbs ladders and runs and does marathons, and she's almost 60. So there's a pretty good chance I'm going to live well into my late 80s, you know, 80, 90, 93, 94 years old. So this is what I'm telling you. My mother knew that there was a time in her life where she had to pull the trigger and retire comfortably. She was prepping this thing the whole time behind everybody's back and just waiting for opportunity to make the right move. And you know what it was? It was the housing market. She was waiting for the value of her house to go up to the maximum that it could possibly go up. And she had her place paid for 30 years. So all the money that this house, the proceeds, she's going to get just this one big lump sum check. And at her age, with her pension and this big chunk of money, she's good. I applaud her, because you know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do. So on that note, folks, I love you. You know that. Remember, subscribe. Leave those comments down below. Smash that bell for future notifications. You know me, I'm Tom. Here in the kitchen, this is Kitchen Talk. I haven't done a Are You Hungry video, but 2 videos ago. I'm probably bringing along on another one eventually. But the bottom line is, I haven't been out to the farm because the bottom line, I am working my ass off. I do it every single year at this time. It's the holidays. Everybody wants holiday get-readies. So after this is all over with, and after New Year's, I go on vacation. I'll talk to you later. You know what to do. Have a great weekend. Hasta la vista, baby.